Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Shonda Harris, and I'm a business opportunity specialist with the Small Business Administration here in Columbus, the Columbus District Office. And we are excited about today's webinar. Today's session is a collaborative effort between the Columbus District Office of the SBA and the Ohio Apex Accelerator at Ohio University. So if you are interested in doing business with the government or a transportation related entity, you are in the right place. And so today's webinar, the team that will be helping to facilitate today's webinar is myself, my colleague Jill Nagy Reynolds from the Columbus SBA, and Sharon Hopkins, who is the director of the Ohio Apex Accelerator at Ohio University. So we'll just go over a couple of housekeeping items before we go ahead and turn it over to our wonderful presenter. If this is your first time joining us, we'd like to welcome you, or if you've been on several of our webinars in the past, we want to welcome you back. So again, this series that we put on with the Ohio Apex Accelerator is one where we want to bring more trainings and webinars to you as small business owners. If you're looking to do business, if you've started your business, you're doing well with your clients, your customers, and you want to venture out and expand and you want to start doing business with the government, either a local government, a city, a county, the state, or even the federal government, and also now expanding with your departments of transportation or like a CODA. We're definitely here for you, and we want to present you with that opportunity where you can learn more of how you can do that. Couple housekeeping items. Again, this is being recorded. We will post the link in about a week or so on the Ohio Apex Accelerator's website at Ohio University. We'll share the link where you can find both the recording and a link to the slides. Also, we will ask, I'm sure there's going to be tons of information where you may have questions today. You can pose those if you pull up the chat. Go ahead and put any questions that you may have in the chat, and we'll be monitoring that. And at a good spot, we will ask the presenter to answer any questions that you may have. And with that, if you are on today's webinar and you're interested in doing business again with not just ODOT, but any other level of government entity, the Ohio Apex Accelerator is a great resource that you can partner with and become a client at no cost. All right, without further ado, I believe that may be it for the preliminary information we want to share with you. But today's webinar, we are highlighting doing business with the Ohio Department of Transportation, better known as ODOT. I actually was on the road yesterday in Dayton and happened to look up, and there were some ODOT trucks on the side of the road doing something. So we're definitely grateful. And during the storm that we just had that we're coming out of, ODOT trucks were out there plowing and putting out snow. So I'm definitely grateful for all of the wonderful work that they do here and all throughout the state. So with that, we do have Lorraine Stevens, who's going to be presenting today. I thank you, young man, just put up a thumbs up. Yeah, we're grateful for ODOT. But we have Miss Lorraine Stevens, who serves as the regional outreach manager for the Central and Southeast Ohio area. She will be our presenter today, and we've worked with Lorraine for many, many years. Wonderful presenter, very knowledgeable. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to her. Lorraine, you can take it away from here.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me to come here. And again, what Shonda said is, as we go through, there may be lots of questions. We'll take pauses through each section. And if you have any questions, just go ahead and just put them in the chat. Again, my name is Lorraine Stevens. and I am a regional outreach manager for ODOT, Division of Small Business and External Workforce Development in the Office of Outreach. I serve Central and Southeast Ohio, covering districts 5, 6, and 10. So again, that's Central and Southeast Ohio. I support small and disadvantaged businesses in learning how to work with ODOT. My role includes organizing workshops, webinars, one-on-one sessions to guide firms through certification and help them identify contracting opportunities. I also coordinate events such as matchmakers and collaborate with resource partners such as this to share valuable information. So ODOT's mission. So ODOT's mission is to provide a transportation system that is safe and accessible. So we support the state highway systems and promote transportation initiatives. And as more than a $3 billion per year enterprise, ODOT invests in the bulk of what is in its resources, and we take care of what we have with system preservations. So Ohio, among the 50 states, Ohio ranges 34th in terms of total area, but it is just one of the smallest states west of the Appalachian Mountains. However, Ohio ranks seventh in the population in the U.S. So Ohio has the 5th largest interstate system with more than 8,000 lane miles. Ohio has the nation's largest total number of bridges, 27,072. Maybe a couple more since we've had a few erected this year. And we are second to Texas. So also in central located within a day's drive of more than 60% of the U.S. and Canadian population. So just some fun facts about Ohio and our transportation system. So let's talk a little bit about the division. So again, small business and external workforce development. So formerly we were the division of ODI. I don't know if you guys remember that. We've recently had a name change. And we have 3 offices that fall up underneath this division, which is led by Deputy Director Deborah Green. So we have the Office of Small Business Services, which is led by Jolita Stoltz. This covers all things DBE and SBE certification, supportive services, on-the-job training, external workforce development, Title VI, and Americans with Disabilities Act and Section 504. We have the Office of Contractor Compliance, which is led by Katie LaPlace. This encompasses all things prevailing wage, certified payroll, prompt payment, DBE, SB, and EDGE goal setting, good faith efforts, and CUF monitoring. We also have the Office of Outreach, where I'm at, which is led by Lynn Stevens. And this is where we provide, like ODOT, we provide business community resources, DBE, and small business webinars, workshops, and events. So a little bit about our office and who we are. So within the Office of Outreach, again, which is led by Lynn Stevens, we have 4 outreach managers that cover the whole state of Ohio. We have Jennifer Christ. She covers Northeast Ohio for districts 4, 11, and 12, and she also covers the initiative for our Hispanic outreach. We have Michelle Newman, which is the Northwest Regional Outreach Manager. She covers districts 1, 2, and 3. And we have Tony Perry Gillespie that covers 7, 8, and 9. We have had some changes to our map that are being updated now. We've had some moving parts that will be posted on our website as soon as it's all updated. But we've had like Fayette County move into, I think, District 8, and then we had a few move up. So there has been some recent changes, but not reflecting on this map. So ODOT, so outreach is focus. So again, we talked about it before. We host webinars, trainings, and matchmakers to inform and connect businesses. We help firms navigate opportunities with the state and local projects. We serve as a trusted point of contact for business development support as well. So bridging the gap, so bridging connections. So we are a liaison for the Office of Small Business Services that certifies as business for consulting and construction in Ohio heavy highway construction industry. So we assist firms with SBE certification, facilitate meet and greet sessions, between prime contractors and certified firms, support in meeting with participation goals on transportation projects. We are also working to help recertify the DBE certification. Right now, it is on hold, and we are helping with the personal narrative. So that's a new added event that we're doing every single month and every single in different parts of the region. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. So, as well as doing helping with all these additional outreach events, I also serve as an initiative to empower veterans by connecting with partners, attend targeted outreach events for our veterans, and providing resources. So doing business with ODOT, a vendor's roadmap. So this is goods and services we're going to talk a little bit about now. Did anybody have any questions? We're going to go ahead and stop there, and probably not, but any questions about our division?
We already have partners, and I'm saying I don't see any in the chat. Again, if you do have questions, we don't want you to unmute your mic, but if you can type those in the chat, and then we will ask the presenter. But I don't see any questions so far.
Okay, great. So let's talk a little bit about doing business with ODOT. So this slide explains the essential for doing business with ODOT. So this is what you will need. So you'll start by creating an Ohio account. So again, this is goods and services through Ohio Buys. You have when you're putting your stuff on Ohio Buys, you have to get paid. So these are some of the things that gets you started. So start by creating an Ohio ID account. This is your statewide login for the Ohio systems. And then you'll also need your business details ready for your supplier profile as well. And then where you'll go, you'll use your Ohio ID to access Ohio Buys. You'll complete your profile, select commodity codes, and review job aids for bidding. And then who to contact for help with registration or bidding. You can reach out to ODOT purchasing support if you have any questions about anything that you see in there that pertains to our purchasing on our side through ODOT. And then that is the link right there, that CN purchasing support. That is an active link. So what do we buy? What do we go into? So this depicts this slide right here. It depicts all of our contracts out there, are an example of. So for procurement opportunities, which is spanning from construction trades, professional, technical services, contract materials, services, commodities, goods, administration, and other services. So take construction and trades. We could have highway and bridge, subconsultants and subcontractors, concrete, flat work, and asphalt and paving, which all falls up underneath the construction trades. Professional and technical service could be engineering design and environmental consulting and right-of-way services. We could have construction material, which is rock hauling, equipment rental, site preparation, commodity and goods such as safety products. These are some of the things that we would have contracts for, and what we would buy. Ohio supplies and IT equipment, administration, and then other such as marketing, graphic design and printing, training, translation, and facilitation service. So if we want to look at what do we buy, we buy so many things. It's not just heavy highway. We do buy things under the construction side of it. We buy roadways and bridges, construction services, services for asphalt and concrete, snow and ice removal, roadside mowing, materials and supplies, which could be paint, signs and lighting material, fuel and lubricants, equipment and vehicles, snow plows, dump trucks and maintenance, professional services, environmental studies. These are just some of the examples of some of the things that we do buy. So when looking at contracting certification at a glance, so now that you guys we've kind of covered what we buy, some of the contracts that we have, so when we receive federal dollars or state dollars, there's certifications out there that you can use as leverage when doing business with ODOT. So when you look at, so the cones, they signify construction and engineering icons, and professional, the engineering icons, that's professional services. And then the award is a preference-based program for the VFBE. So with looking over that, so on the federal column, the DBE goal is 15.7% for federal fiscal year 2023 and 25. On October 3rd, the U.S. Department of Transportation issued interim final rule that significantly alters how the DBE program works. So currently, there's no federal required goals that may be set right now until the U.S. DOT's reevaluation process is complete. And in absence of the DBA goals, ODOT is enforcing SBE set-aside goals on the eligible projects. These SBA goals are not tied to specific federal DBE requirements, but are federally funded and federally compliant. So we will get more into the SB certifications later, but this is being used to actively use as a set aside certain projects or certain ODOT contracts for certified small businesses and small firms, helping to maintain opportunity while the DBE goals are paused. And then we also have the EDGE goals. Goals have been used historically on state-funded ODOT construction and design contracts, often around 5%. And they are not tied to federally funding rules. MBE, which is a state certification, ODOT often sets 20% procurement goals for MBE participation on state-funded purchases. Other agencies can have, at least 15% as well. VFBE for the veteran, again, this is a procurement preference program designed to support businesses that are owned by veteran or employ a significant number of veterans. Certifications as they allow businesses to receive a preference in state contracting bidding and scoring. So you have to at least own 51%, 10% or more of the employees or 51% of the board members are veterans to qualify for that. And that is that fall up underneath. So EDGE and MBE and VFBE, those all fall up underneath the Department of Development. And then the DBE, the SBE, and SBE set-asides, that all fall up underneath the Ohio Department of Transportation. But we do use those goals on our projects and our contracts.
Lorraine.
So for ODOT specific rules, the VBE is administered separately and applies to the state funded contracts and procurement and directs the VBE preferences. May be considered for professional services and other state procurements. So except where a contract is federally funded. So again, the blueprint icon is that falls up under the DBE development goal. The cone is ODOT SB set-asides, state column. The cones again is, so as I stated before, that's what the images or the icons depict.
Lorraine,
Yeah,
we do have a few questions.
okay, let me go back.
So I'm going to go back up here. They are coming in. People are really interested. So just again, I'm letting everyone know the slides and the link to the recording will be posted on the OU Apex Accelerators website. All right. So Lorraine, Ryan wants to know for the logistics industry, does each district handle their own logistical needs, or
Mm.
does ODOT as a whole handle all the procurement for
Oh, that
logistics?
is a whole. Now, if there is a district that needs something on a logistics side and they could do a request for a bid, they will work with the procurement side to get that completed. So that will be the procurement, ODOT procurement that will initiate all of that and have that run through.
Okay, and Sherry Bailey wants to know if you can show the link for ODOT purchasing support again.
Oh, sure. Right here. And again, you'll get this slide and once you get these slides, these links are active.
Okay, great. Um, and Diana wants to know, does ODOT buy HR services,
Like human resources.
human resources?
So I know that there was a company that had umbrella companies that fell down through. Again, that would be a purchasing question for them on how they're doing that. But yes, in the past they have done that.
Okay, great. And Kimberly wants to see, can you put up the slide that has the percentages for each of the different programs? She
Yes.
wants to know what is the percentage for WBE. There we go. I don't think
Yeah,
WBE.
WBE is not on here.
Okay, WBE is not on there,
Mm-mm.
Kimberly, but there are all of the different programs in the breakdown.
Mm.
Um, Cheryl has a question. Are marketing services done at a regional level?
Again, when it comes to goods and services, that is a procurement question. And when you're looking for those opportunities, you can look for those in Ohio Buys. That's where they will be posted. So even they will state a location. So if a certain location is needing that, then yes, it would state that. If it's a statewide, it'll state that as well. So when you're into Ohio Buys and you're looking through those contracts, that's going to give you an idea of what location, where that's being requested from, and then, but again, that is a procurement through finance question.
Great. All right. Barb Smith has a question. Good morning, Barb. Um, Barb wants to know, do you always outsource inspection services for roadways and bridges, or do you perform any of these services in-house?
I think ODOT does smaller ones, but I can't say that for sure. I know a lot of the inspection, and that was inspection contracts, Barb was asking about.
Yes.
Yeah. So that would be under the consultant side of it. But I am sure that there are smaller projects that ODOT could handle when it comes to inspections.
Okay, and there's a part two to that question. She also wants to know what would be the best way that they could find those opportunities for roadway and bridge inspection services.
Sure, that's on the consulting side. And what I can do is, Barb, we can talk on later on, but I could also include some links on how to locate those opportunities when I send this PowerPoint over, both on the construction side and the consulting side for you to look at those opportunities.
Okay, thank you. Carol wants to know, so is this presentation just all about construction or construction related services?
Well, no, that's why we started off showing that how much what we can buy through ODOT. But ODOT does do goods, or we do specialize in roads and bridges and heavy highway. So a lot of what we do when it comes to the construction side does fall under heavy highway construction. But we do purchase other things, and those things would be uh, uh, followed up on the Ohio buys.
Okay, thank you. Misty wants to know how would someone get in contact for the logistics industry? I guess the procurement point of contact.
Yes, you can always reach out on the link that I have on here on the website, right? Or you can reach out to me one on one. I'll be happy to set up that meeting with you. That's what outreach does. We can set up one on ones, and I help you get the answers that you need. So if you need more, if you got specific questions, I'm going to have my email here at the end of this presentation. If you want to reach out to me individually, I'll be happy to set up a one-on-one with you to walk you through it.
Okay, great. All right, Ryan, we already answered that question about um, each district handling their logistic needs. Ryan has another question. Just as for the scope of work, how many full truckload contracting opportunities are there per week? It's kind of specific.
Wow. Again, what we can do is after this presentation, I'm happy to go onto these live links and kind of walk you through on how to locate opportunities, look at bid letting pamphlets, and to look at the contracts that's out there right now when it comes to construction side or the consulting side. I don't have that completely covered in here because it's more about how to do business with ODOT if you have these certifications, and if you don't, we can help you look too. You don't have to have a certification to do business with ODOT. There's always opportunities out there to, depending on what kind of business that you have, and that's why outreach is such a great resource, because it doesn't matter if you have a certification to leverage with. You can contact us and we can show you where to locate these opportunities specific to your business.
Okay, great. And I'm going to ask everyone, we'll go ahead and take the questions that are in the chat right now. Please don't put on any more questions. If you do have some and they're not answered, we'll still have space at the end. And then there's several other sections that she hasn't gone over. But I think this is great. I love the interaction. But so that she can get through with the rest of her presentation, we'll just take the questions that are in the chat, and then we'll let Lorraine finish. And then again, if you do have additional questions that haven't been answered, we can still take those at the end. Eduardo has a question regarding geospatial surveying, aerial, medial, those type of services. Are those type of services typically subcontracted through primes, or are they given as direct contracts?
Well, those are contracts that are out there. So they are professional services. And again, we can talk a little bit at the end of the presentation. I can show you where to locate those opportunities. You might locate them in like a SBE set aside. You might locate them under the constructions on the professional service consulting side. It depends on where you're locating the information and what you're wanting to put or what you're wanting to see. So, and that's why I said a lot of times it's individual based. It's a lot of information, and the outreach managers can go directly with what your needs are, help you with any certifications you're looking to get, direct you on who to contact if it is not our certification, and then how to locate opportunities that are within ODOT and out of ODOT. So we can help with all of those things, and it is kind of individual based on where to locate those opportunities based off of your business. I hope that made sense. I hope that answered that question.
Okay, thank you. Patricia has a question. I don't know about the first part. I would like to know if a company is certified, and they have all the certifications, how do they gain access to upcoming contracts?
Depending on the type of business that you have and the type of certifications that you have, locating opportunities, right? So if you are construction based, you are going to go to the contracts portion of how to do business with ODOT. If you have those goals, you're looking to see how your goals that you can leverage with the primes out there. If you're looking to network with these businesses out here, we have events that come up through matchmakers that where there, if there's a project base that's coming up, we invite the primes out and we invite the SBE or the small businesses out to meet with the primes. So there's many ways to do business with the primes. And again, working with your local outreach manager is a great resource, letting them know what certifications you have, how they can help with, the new DBE program or the reevaluation, how they can show you where the new goals are. And we'll talk a little bit about the new goals and what they kind of cover under the new SBE and how they did the pilot program and the changes that has been made while we're waiting for the reevaluation for the DBE program. So again, outreach is a great resource individually to reach out to. That way you can talk specifically about your business and how to do business with ODOT.
Okay, great. And I'm sure toward the end, Lorraine will have up the screen with all of the outreach managers for each division throughout the state and their contact information. Great. We just have a couple more. Avery wants to know, does ODOT contract out audio and visual engineering services?
Mm-hmm. Yep, we have in the past. So again, these are bids that would be going through Ohio Buys. That's where you would locate those opportunities.
Okay, great. Shondella wants to know, are businesses required to be based in Ohio in order to do business with ODOT?
Absolutely not. You can always do business with Ohio and locate one of the outreach managers to assist with that. You do not have to be certified. You don't, but to use the goals, you would have to be in Ohio. If you're not an Ohio firm and you were DBE certified, we are currently not working on out of state firms right now. You have to get certified in your home state and then do an interstate application to be awarded for using your goals here in the state of Ohio. So you'd have to reach out to your home state first for
Okay, great.
certifications, but not just to do business, because there's always opportunities out there that you can locate and bid on if it hasn't nothing to do with the goals as a prime.
All right. And Carol wants to know, I believe Carol, she transports people through her business and she possesses a CDL license, but doesn't do construction, doesn't, is not in the construction industry. So Carol, what I would recommend is if you would follow up with your Apex Accelerator counselor, the local Apex Accelerator counselor in your area. Carol, if you can type in the chat what county you're located in, and then I'm going to have Sharon Hopkins to put what is the counselor, the Apex counselor in your area. You can follow up with them, and then they can connect you, find out who would do business with your type of business, your industry. All right. Diana Clark wants to know, what is the best way to contact the procurement division if they have questions?
Sure, it would be that email address that I put in here. I put in the slide, which is going to be active. You can also go onto Ohio Buys and just take a look at what they have there. They'll have the contact person for any contract that's on there. If you're specifically looking at a contract on there and you have a question, they will be a contact person through ODOT or through whoever is looking to fulfill that contract. If it is, if you're just reaching out just to see how to do business with ODOT, you could reach out to that email address that I put on there, and that should take you to get you the information that you're needing.
Okay. And yeah, Carol, if you are interested in doing business with the state, we just had a webinar last week in doing business with the state of Ohio and talking about the Ohio Buys website. And so we do have a point of contact that we can connect you with, share their contact information, and then you can ask questions as it pertains to that website.
Mhm.
Uh, all right. So
Remember, they have classes on Ohio Buys too. So if you're
say
wondering how
that
to
again.
maneuver through Ohio Buys, you can get on there, and there should be either purchasing support, or you can complete like job aids for bidding. There should be additional information on that Ohio Buys, because that's for the whole state of Ohio, not just for ODOT.
I think this will be the last one,
Okay.
and then we'll let you. How long, I believe, Terrence, your question is, how long does it take to become SBE, not SBA, but SBE certified once all documents have been submitted?
It's just the same as the DBE program. It usually takes about 90 days.
Okay, great. I think that is it for now. And then if your question wasn't answered, we will get back to it at the end of the presentation or after this next section. But Lorraine, you can take it over from here. Thank you.
Oh,
Great questions.
yes, great questions. Um, so let's talk a little bit about the SBE program. So we'll talk about the eligibility, benefits, requirements, and the timeline. So SBE certification has previously been reserved for prime contractors and consultants. So they would have an SBE set aside, and it would be for culvert repair, culvert replacement. So ODOT and our division had got together, and they wanted to do a pilot program. So in the summer, last summer, they started putting some SBE goals on some of the projects, and then now, since the DBE project, so in November, since we have to reevaluate all of the DBE certifications, we now have SBE goals on our construction-based projects. During this section, we're just going to cover SBE certification, where it applies, and where it can be used. So the SBE program, where the current status. So ODOT projects, advertise DBE goals, updated to SBE goals. So you're not going to see DBE goals out there anymore right now, just for this year, but you will be seeing SBE goals where that was. And then we have SBE set aside, which is still continuing. The local programs have the DBE goals. They were removed for projects currently advertised, and future LPA projects SBE goals settings begins for projects December 1st. There has none been released yet, but it did start December 1st. So that will be updating. So again, we talked a little bit about the SBE pilot that happened over the summer. So the pilot projects for the construction were included in the lettings across a 90-day span from June to September. So 3 engineering projects in September in the programmatic, and then the formal approval received in August 2025 through Federal Highway to continue the SBE contracting goal setting. So I think that ODOT has been instrumental in keeping the goals alive on the project, but after the October 3rd. So after the November date, and we are continuing to make sure that we have goals on projects for our small businesses. So again, SBE set aside pre-qualification. So let's talk a little about this. So this is set aside qualification. So this is not SBE goals that we're talking about. These are SBE set-asides. And again, some of the examples of SBE set-asides could be culvert repair, culvert replacement, goals or projects like that. So a bidder must be pre-qualified by the department according to the ORC Chapter 5525 and the rules and regulations governing pre-qualification in order to submit a bid. So prospective bidders that are not yet pre-qualified must furnish ODOT a properly completed pre-qualification application at least 30 days before the date specified for the receipt of the bids. The pre-qualification certificate is the bidder's license to bid and perform construction for the department. So next slide. So with the current federal DBE interim final rule in effect, so ODOT is using its small business enterprise SBE certification to set aside federal projects for small business participation. So your SBE certification can be used to bid on SBE set aside contracts on federally funded ODOT projects. And in Ohio, the Small Business Enterprise SBE program primarily targets federally funded projects, but its application is expanding, like we talked about. While similar to the DBE program, it is a race and gender neutral, meaning any small business meeting the size and net worth requirements can qualify. This is specifically a set-aside program for federally funded highway construction and design contracts. And as of August 1st, 2025, ODOT received long-term approval from the Federal Administration to apply SBE goals specifically to these federal projects. So we have heavy highway and consulting and design. So that's going to be roads, highways, and bridges on the heavy highway side, and consulting and engineering designs on the, so that's major highway reconstruction, geotechnical, environmental, and consulting. So again, SBE is a race and gender neutral. So SBE requirements. So since we're still on the SBE, I don't know if we've had a lot of questions when it comes to just the time limits and where we're at with that, or do we want to just continue on with the requirements?
You can continue to go on with the requirements with your presentation.
Thank you, Shonda. So now let's look at it just a little bit closer. So eligibility requirements. So a firm must be independent for profit business, right? So you must be in it for profit. To be certified as an SBE, a firm must be an independent small business owned 51% minimum and controlled by an individual or multiple individuals of having a personal net worth of less than 2.047 million. To qualify, a firm's average annual receipts over the past 5 years must fall within the specific limits. For construction firms, that limit is 22.5 or less. And for construction-related firms, that is limit is 12.75. So if a firm has been in business for fewer than 5 years, these amounts are prorated based on the years in operation. So these size standards ensure that the certification benefits small businesses that truly need the opportunity to compete. So personal net worth guidelines. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Again, it recently just increased to 2.047, as we talked about on the previous slide. It increased April 9th, 2024. The personal net worth calculation.
To fill out order of events, what transpired, what he did, what he said. Hold on to that.
Sorry about that, Lorraine.
That's okay. That's okay. So again, the personal net worth calculation excludes any primary residence, equity in the applicant's firm, or retirement accounts. Personal net worth calculation includes equity and other business interests, full value of the contents of the primary residence, unless cohabitating a spouse or a domestic partner. Each owner relies upon certification but submit a personal net worth statement, including required attachments. So again, on this slide here, I do want to talk a little bit about it. So these are just like changes. Again, personal net worth guidance, and then the IFR changes as of October of 2025. Again, it was increased to 2.047. This excludes the following: primary residence and retirement accounts, so forth. And then the new requirements I want to talk about that for the effective October 2025, the new personal net worth form. There is a brand new form out there. I want you to take note of that. And then there's also the additional documentation for the personal narrative proving social and economic disadvantage. Now, this is for the DBE program, but again, these were just updates that I just wanted to go over. And then again, and if you have any questions when it comes to this, you can reach out to any of the outreach managers or the DOT outreach email address and reach out as well. But again, these are just updates, not just for the personal net worth. But again, if you have any questions about that, please let me know. I know there's a lot. And again, I know we're talking about SBA contracts and requirements, but there has been some updates I wanted to put out. So SBA contracts and requirements. So ODOT will continue to have set-aside projects. They are construction set-asides of less than $2 million. They'll have consulting set-asides of less than $350,000. The SBE must perform and exercise responsibility for at least 30% of the total cost of its contract with its own workforce. And then whoever you go into partner with will have to do 70% of the work. The SBE must perform a commercially useful function. And in order to bid or submit a letter of interest on the SBE set-aside, the company must be pre-qualified with ODOT's Office of Contracts or the Office of Consultant Services. Again, that is SBE set-asides we're referring to. So SBE qualifications. So a firm must perform work in construction or construction-related consultant services. Now that is regardless. This is what we're looking at. We want you to have that kind of company when you're applying for SBE. So again, so furthermore, it must be intend to participate in ODOT's contracting and consulting activities. Must be capable of performing or exercising responsibility for at least 30% of work for the set-asides. And again, of the total cost of the construction related consultant services contracts with its own workforce. So that is for set-asides. And so SBE disqualification. So what can disqualify you once you become DB or SBE certified, or if you're not able to get qualified? So all applicants must be completed in their entirety. If an applicant knowingly supplies false or inaccurate information, the applicant shall be disqualified. The business or any principal owner of the business must not have never been disbarred or convicted of a bid-related crimes or violations within the past years of any state or federal adjudication, or will be under notice of intent to depart if in any jurisdiction. So that's just some of the disqualifications. So ODOT SBE certification advantages. So SBE certification offers key advantages. Your business is listed in the SBE directory, making it easier for prime contractors to find you. You can showcase your capability statements on the outreach website for added visibility, gain access to networking events like matchmakers, meet and greets, supportive services, helps with marketing, estimating, and website creating. The Mentor Protege program provides guidance and experienced partners, training and workshops to the LTAP, the CEI, and ODOT outreach that can help you grow and compete. So these benefits strengthen your presence and open doors for more contracting opportunities. So it is a good advantage to have. So certification process and timeline. So DBE certification process overview. So intake review, all required documents must be submitted, and then desk review. Once completed, your file is assigned to a certification analyst. And the analyst may request additional information if need be. That's so they'll get all your documentation and they'll have 30 days to review that. They'll put it over to a analyst again for them to review that. They could reach out if they need any additional documentation. They'll schedule after the desk review. They'll schedule a in-person on-site. Once they get completed with that, then they'll make their determination for you to if you are eligible for certification. Again, set aside projects. So I just want to talk a little bit about this. I know we covered this at the beginning, but SB set aside projects, so the highway construction projects on the contracts, the information in this section applies to projects at the links. Yeah, we'll get you some links that come over for this one as well, but this is construction SBE versus consultant SBE. So again, construction is under $2 million. Typical projects could be bridge, consultant resurface, ODOT prime contractors, and under the consultant services side, 250,000, 300,000, geotechnical, environmental, ODOT prime contractor on both. So you would be the prime, and then then you would have that. You would do 30% of the work. So eligibility for SBE. So business. So the firm must be established in business in its entirety. Ownership and control must demonstrate qualifying ownership and control. A personal net worth. Each owner's personal net worth must be less than 2.047 million. Again, types of work, must perform work in construction or construction-related consulting services, must intend to participate in ODOT contracting and consultant as a prime contractor for SBE set-asides, capable of performing at least 30% of the contract with its own workforce, and have the SBE certification, and it's race and gender neutral. Now that wraps up the SBE. Again, this is our outreach contacts for your local region. Again, there's been some maneuvering, but all in all, this is pretty accurate. Jennifer Chris, like I said, she does the Northeast region. Michelle Newman is the Northwest. Tony is Southwest, and I am Central and Southeast Ohio. I'm going to go ahead and open it up to questions, and then I can go ahead and show, I can open up questions for the personal narrative. If you guys have any questions on that, we can talk about some guidelines. We can talk a little bit about how to locate opportunities. Again, you can reach out to your regional outreach manager who can individually talk to you about your local area and what opportunities are out there. But again, I'll go ahead and just open it up for questions.
Hey, now, do you have more? Is this the end of your presentation?
The end of the presentation.
Okay, this is the end. So if you do have any questions, if you can go ahead and type them in the chat. And once we finished with all of the questions pertaining to this, I'm going to show everyone where they can. Sharon has been posting it in the chat, but where you can access the link to the webinar and where you can access the slides. I'll show you where you can find it on the Apex Accelerators website. Okay, so Kimberly, you know what? Can you show Lorraine where they can find opportunities? Can you maybe get out the presentation, go to the website and show that,
Yeah,
and
so
do a little demo?
it's
And we
all,
have plenty of time.
yeah, so it's all depending on what kind of company that they have. So if it's construction based, and hold on, let me just pull my screen over there, and you guys just let me know if you guys are able to see my screen.
Okay, I think you have to stop sharing the presentation and then
All right, hold on
pull up your website.
Hold on one second. Where's my share? So sorry, give me 1 second.
You're okay.
Okay, so if you are construction based and you want to start out from the beginning, you can type in Ohio Department of Transportation, how to do business, and it's going to ask you specifically what kind of company you have. So if you're construction based, it'll show you where to go to. If you're consultant based, it'll show you where to go to. So ODOT has made it pretty easy for you guys to go in, figure out what kind of company you have, and then locate those opportunities. So let's go from the very beginning. So doing business right up here. So if you just go into ODOT and you're doing business up here, so it's going to ask you right down here. So explore the business areas and supporting resources. So you've got planning, engineering, construction, contracts, consultant services, publications, permits, data tools, and applications. So depending on what kind of help you need and where you're looking for those opportunities, this is going to show you. So if you are a construction-based firm and you want to look for construction opportunities, you can go in here and take a look at this. It'll tell you a little bit about it. So construction administration, civil rights. So just a little bit about that. So let's see, contracts. If you were looking for contracts, we're going to go in here. That's going to show you available contracts. Bidding construction projects, we'll go ahead and they got purchasing, procurement, sold project results, estimating, pre-qualification and certification. They've got a whole slew of good information on here for you on how to do business with ODOT. If you are wanting to look at sold project results, so you could just click on the bid construction projects, and then bidding documents or upcoming. No, yeah, right here, bidding documents. Bring this up as a full report. And as you can see on here, you can section this off by whatever district you're at. So based off of the map that you're looking at, that's going to tell you what projects that are out there. And then when you're looking at this is going to tell you the PED, the project, the letting date, and then this is going to tell you also if it has any types of goals. You can look at the plans, you can look at the budget, you can look at all of the items, and then you can also look to see if there's any goals. So if you are already certified under if you're certified under SBE, because there's no longer DBE goals. So if you're looking for SBE or EDGE, you're going to see both of those on this. And then what you can do is you're like, okay, so I have SB certification. How can I help with this? So, and then you can specifically look right out and locate. So these, when you click on the plan holders, that is going to show you where to go to, because that's going to show you who's interested in bidding on this project. And this is a really good time where you can reach out to them. You can give them your elevator pitch. Let them know how you can how you can help with this project based off of your company. Another way of looking at that is looking through letting dates or letting schedules. And again, you can access this full report. And
Hey,
then,
Lorraine, once you've gone through that, we've got some questions that have come in.
sure. So I'm going to go ahead and stop there because I think that's just a good spot right there to where, like I said, if you're doing business with ODOT, these are just good places where you can go to depending on what kind of company that you have, what kind of certifications that you can leverage. And then again, you can always look at these contracts and see how you can do business with these primes out there or with these contracts. So go ahead with the question.
All right. Thank you. So Ryan asked, what website can we go to check all of our businesses certifications related to SBA or SBE? So,
Well, SBA, I do not, that's you guys. So SBE certification, you would go through B2G now. Again, that is a website where you do your certification. Again, your outreach manager is, put this back up. So your outreach manager is your first line of contact when it comes to your certification. They can help you with gathering what your documentation you're going to need, what link you're going to go and you're going to apply, where you're going to locate additional information. If you need more of a step-by-step guide, we can send that out just depending on your needs. Your outreach manager is a one-stop shop to helping you locate those opportunities.
and I can kind of address the SBA part. So, yeah, Ryan, that's a good question because it can get confusing in government contracting. So, SBA is a federal agency. ODOT gets state and federal funding, so they have different certifications than the SBA does. Once you've gone through a socioeconomic certification, whether it's 8A, Hub Zone, woman-owned, or service-disabled veteran-owned, and your company gets approved for that certification, it will show up in SBA's small business search portal. And I'll put a link to that in the chat. All of you that are interested in federal government contracting should be familiar with the small business search. It communicates with sam.gov, but it is SBA's official portal for showing the certification status of small businesses. So there is no one spot where you can check all of your certifications because they're through different levels of government, different agencies. But what we recommend is that as a company, you create a capability statement where you are highlighting all of the certifications that you have as a business, and also on your website to make sure that that is prominent somewhere. Elle would like to know, what about ODOT's furniture needs? How would I find information about those opportunities?
If there is any kind of, that would be an Ohio buys. I know we have a contract through OPI. but for our office furniture, but that is a like a court requirement that we use through them. But if that necessarily, if they don't have something, they could potentially put a bid out there. Again, I think you would be looking for that procurement on the Ohio Buys website.
And we're getting real industry specific in the chat. So now we have several businesses wanting to know how they find opportunities with their particular core capabilities. That would be like in one-on-one session with the outreach managers, because it's always harder than well, I mean, it's sometimes like there's got to be some digging that happens to help you find the fit. And that's what Apex Accelerators specialize in too. So Annette's looking for pupil transportation, passenger transportation. Leah's looking for lab testing services. Yeah, it's just all of them. Construction parts. So those are really industry specific type of questions where that would be more of a one-on-one or meeting with your Apex Accelerator to get more detailed type of training.
I
Would you agree
totally,
with that?
I agree too. Hmm.
Okay. Elle's asking, I'm an MBE. Is it recommended to obtain SBE certification too?
Well, if you are construction related, either on heavy highway or consultant side, SBE would be the right fit for you. If you do not fall up underneath those categories, I don't think SBE would be a good fit. But there's a lot. Just because there's lots of certifications out there doesn't mean that they're the right fit for you. I don't want you to waste your time, because some certifications you can really leverage a lot of the certifications out there, but make sure it fits your company. Just because it shows on the bottom of your capability statement, like Jill says, and it's a great, but again, these certifications take time. They take a whole lot of resources. You have to gather a lot of documentation. It's a lot on your time. So just make sure that what type of business, and if you're not falling up underneath these requirements, you might not get certified. So again, reach out to your outreach manager, reach out to Apex support out there too. They have some really great resources, and ODOT is always able to, or have the ability to answer any of your questions, set up one-on-ones, show you how to locate opportunities that's based off of your type of company. And again, it's all individualized based off, again, your company. So reach out to us. That's why I've kept the map up here. So whoever that falls up underneath your region, you can reach out to them, and they are a great resource as well.
Thank you. And also, it's hard, just over the years meeting with businesses, it'll say, I'm MBE, so I need to apply for 8A or I need to apply for SBE. Like, figure out first where your primary customer is, because if it's with ODOT, focus on ODOT. And if it's with the federal government, focus on the federal government. Like, just the certifications are tools, they're not guarantees of contracts.
Mhm.
It's doing the market research and your business development that's going to make the difference, I think, in success, in addition to the certification. So Carol has been disappointed with the Cleveland SBA office. Um, it looks as though, Carol, you've tried to make appointments and they just haven't been responsive. SBA, the SBA district offices, we do a lot of, like, for example, I work in government contracting. I work primarily with 8A companies. So if it's having to do with government contracting or the technical side, like SAM.gov or some of the things that we're talking about, we would ask you to see an Apex Accelerator. And there's a very good Apex Accelerator at Lakeland Community College. I think there's two counselors up there. I don't know if you've reached out to them, but I highly recommend that as well. Um, Donald was asking about construction parts. Again, that would be a one-on-one type of question. Uh, Oh, Cameron is saying that Lorraine, you will be their outreach manager.
Okay,
So she'll be, or they will be sending you a request.
great.
Uh,
Great.
great present.
And once I do get an email from you guys, on the bottom of my signature line, there's a book with me link. You please feel free to click on that link, and I'll send it over with this PowerPoint so Jill and Shonda can send it out as well. You can click on that link and set up a one-on-one meeting with me. I can go ahead and do that for the rest of the outreach managers as well. You can get on there if they have that availability, and you have the based off of your availability. You can book that time, and they're happy to meet with you one on one virtually to start off the conversation and see how they can help you.
Very good. And
Mm.
Carol, you're saying, do you do state contracts? Well, that would be Apex Accelerators, and they absolutely do. They do federal, state, local, city, county, RTA, pretty much everything in the government space, they can help you with. And it looks like, okay, Donald, you got to ask your question about construction parts. Uh, okay. Very good. Shonda, I am going to turn it back over to you. But
Okay.
all right. And we are, who's the, Cameron's asking, Sharon, would you mind putting the link for Ohio Apex Accelerator at Ohio University? And Shonda's about to go to that
Show them.
site. And I also forgot, just I want to tell everyone about the Ohio Business Matchmaker, which will be on April 22nd and 23rd. So that will be an opportunity for all of you to meet one-on-one with the federal, state, and local government procurement people in Ohio. And it's like the 17th year that we're doing this, and it is in person. It's at the Nutter Center in Dayton. And once I stop yapping, I'll put that in the chat as well. But if you can go to that, do it. And we're going to start on March 4th, a series of webinar trainings to help everyone get ready for the event. So the webinar trainings don't cost anything. The event is, I think, early bird registration opens on March 1st, and it might be, I think it's 95. It might have gone up a little bit, but $95 a person, and that helps us to cover the cost of the food and the venue. So, with that, I'll turn it over to you, Shonda, and then I will put the link to the Ohio Business Matchmaker and the Apex Accelerator in the chat.
Okay, and I'm gonna show them. And Jill, can you, since you were talking about the webinars and we have some time, I did pull up the list of the trainings leading up to that. So I'll just scroll through that and then I can show them where they can find the information for the webinars and access to the slides.
Perfect.
If I can, I have a million and one things open. And while you were talking, I did put the link for the SBA Small Business Search in the chat. Now I need to hit share, I think. Oh, Sharon, I'm sending you a request to share my screen.
Hey, Shonda, I'm going to go ahead and add on a link on how doing business with ODOT. I'm going to add that in the chat as well.
Do you want to show, did you already show them?
I already showed that portion
Okay.
of it, but again, individualized, it might be different on how to do business based off of their type of company.
Okay, great. Okay, I can share. Let's see. All right. Okay, can you see my screen?
Now, let me stop sharing.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the website for the Ohio Apex Accelerator at Ohio University. And we've put it in the chat. I can't see it because it's covering.
Yes.
But the
Yep.
apex.ohio.edu. So once you're on the website, if you click on the resources tab,
Hey, Shonda, before you go there, if they want to become a client, they would click
Oh,
that
yeah.
blue button.
So if you want to become a client, you would click this blue button over here. And then once you click on it, it becomes yellow. And then you can put in your contact information. And you can submit. You have to set up a password. If you'd like to register for another webinar training or upcoming trainings or events, click on here to see what's going to be coming up. All
And
right.
they are also listed on our website. All
Also listed on
training.
the website, all the
Mhm.
trainings. I think I can now. Can I go back? I can't. Yes, I can. All right. So this is the home page. Again, if you want to become a client, click on this blue link over here.
If you
And
scroll down, you can see other events we
okay,
have
so if you
scheduled.
scroll down to the bottom of the page, there are some of the numbers of what they've done and working with clients, their clients. Here are the training and events listed at the bottom of the page. Oh, I don't think I knew that. Okay, and then if you click on, yes, and if you click on it, it'll take you to the particular webinar, give you the description, and then you can sign up there. All right, I didn't know those were at the bottom of the page. So we are all learning something today. All right, so once you're on the page, apex.ohio.edu, thank you, Sharon. You can click on the resources tab. And if you click on training videos, it will take you to all of the webinars that were we previously did in the past. And if they want to find a specific, like the state of Ohio, the one we did last week, is there a way to go to a direct webinar or find a specific webinar, Sharon? Oh, right here,
Um,
search,
yeah, I was
training
gonna say,
video search.
yes. The one from last week is not posted yet, but it
Okay.
should be within a day or two.
Okay, so you can click on the search, and then in this box, you can put in whatever the title is. And it typically takes about a week to post the previous webinar. So the one for doing business with the state of Ohio, probably by the end of this week, it'll be up. But let me show you, if you were clicking on a webinar, the slides, once you click on
So that's a client testimonial
oh,
there.
let me
If
not
you
do that.
scroll down, so
Here's
it's
one.
also divided into like federal contracting, state contracting, subcontracting. So depending on what you're looking for, you might
Oh, I
want to,
see.
yeah.
So here's one, federal contracting, technical considerations for government contracting. This is one we did in January. Okay. All right. I think that's wonderful. So you can access all of those trainings and then access to the slides through clicking on that training videos link, and you should be good. And then you can also do a search. But remember, if it was a webinar that you just participated in, it could take about a week. Typically takes about a week for it to be uploaded. I'm gonna
And then
stop
if
sharing.
you, I was going to say, I was going to show them about us.
Okay, hang on.
That
I
shows
can
the
go back.
staff.
Okay, that's good right here. Okay, so if you click on About Us, our team,
Yes.
this is the staff. I'm scrolling down their team. So that's Sharon Hopkins, who's talking, the director, who's been facilitating everything in the background and putting people on mute if their mics come unmuted. So we partner with her. Karen Wivel is the Associate Director of Central Ohio Office. And those are the counties that she covers. She has a team that she manages. Her team is Vicki Hawthorne, who's a procurement specialist who covers Franklin County. Matt
Matt.
Slavic, who's a procurement specialist who covers the Pickerington office. And those are the counties that he covers. And the rest of the team, Billy Grill, who's the associate director for Southeast Ohio, down in the Dayton area. Those are the counties that he covers. He does have one more person on his team.
And Jane, because there was a Cleveland person.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going through
Oh,
all
you're
of
like,
them.
Jill, stop. Okay, gotcha.
All right, Matt Brazzi is on Billy's team, so he's down in the Dayton area covering those counties listed on the screen.
Danielle Peterman right there is with Billy. She's in Cincinnati.
Oh, okay, I forgot. I'm thinking so Danielle is a part of Billy's team. I'm just thinking of Dayton. Cincinnati, which also is in Billy's area. So she covers the area down in the Cincinnati area and all those counties, Danielle Peterman. They do have a great team with Apex covering most of the state. Jane Stewart, I know somebody DM me. They were up in the Cleveland area. She's in the Cleveland area, Northeast Ohio. She's the associate director up there. Those are the counties that she covers. Then Don Zavsky, who's the procurement specialist. Okay, he's up in Cleveland too, works with Jane. So covers those counties in Cleveland. Then John Woodard is procurement specialist in the Akron area, covering those counties. And Sean McKinney is a manufacturing specialist, covers all the counties for Apex Accelerator at Ohio University. So they do have an expansive team. You can reach out to one of them if you need assistance. Okay, was that all you wanted to show,
Yeah,
Sharon?
just because some were specific about counties, I wanted them to see the faces of who they could contact.
That is, so let's see. And then their offices, if you click on their office, it breaks down all of the counties. Here's the state map that they cover. So essentially they cover all of Ohio except for the Lima area, Youngstown area, and then the South Point area, the southernmost part of Ohio.
But you can,
Can you click on these areas to get to?
I
Okay,
think you can and get the
yeah.
information
So
on
if
how to
you're in
contact.
these areas that they don't cover, you can still click on them. No,
Oops, no, that
it
didn't work.
doesn't.
Oh,
Let me see
it
if the
used
other,
to. I'm going to have to get
okay.
that fixed.
And now I can't get off this without, it's covering my little, there we go. There we go. Right, even if we clicked on, yeah, it doesn't go. Mm-mm. Okay. And I think that's it. I think there's some more questions. I think I'm gonna turn it back over to Jill. One other thing.
All right. Now I saw a question come from William Morgan. Maybe you want to unmute yourself because I'm not really sure what you're trying to ask. So, will this help with transportation for students, people, and products in Summit County?
We don't do construction, so trying to look for the procurement sites, of course, in Ohio and statewide that we can actually cover.
Oh yeah, I mean that's definitely more than just construction. It's just pretty much any product or service. So, um, you have like a transportation business?
Correct. We do have a transportation business, and currently we are doing with some city sites, but again, we want to get more on the state sites and different areas that we can cover. And so I know, like you said, you mentioned getting on the Apex and finding an Apex counselor.
Mm-hmm.
Don't currently have one, and so I was looking to find out who we need to reach out to pertain some of these. Because again, she has some of the small business, and it's a woman-owned business as well. So
Okay.
trying to find out who we need to reach out to get all these correct avenues.
Just the site that Shonda was just on for the Ohio Apex Accelerator at Ohio University. I think
Correct.
Summit County, that would be, I mean, the staff is listed there. Sharon is that
Uh-huh.
near, that's not Akron area.
It is Akron.
Okay.
And that's John Woodward.
John
Okay.
Woodward. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. And the link is in the chat. Are you able
Yeah,
to access the chat?
I
Okay.
got all of those.
Okay, cool.
If there was anyone specific I could reach out to directly, so John would be the person. I appreciate your assistance.
Yeah, but I'm glad you asked that question because it isn't just construction. Like when you're looking at, and we talked about it a lot today. We talked about construction because ODOT does a lot of heavy highway, but they also do a lot more than just that.
Correct.
So does the federal, state, local. So that's, yeah, it's definitely worth reaching out to your Apex Accelerator.
Correct. We also want to talk about moving like product. This is just it's just not people, but like product. Again, we can move other items. Like I said, no things have to be moved to job sites. So we want to move items that need to get to job sites.
So yeah, that would be freight. I probably so that when you're that's what when you have those one-on-ones, those are where you're going to get the majority of your questions answered that are individual to your business.
Okay. All right.
All
And
right.
I think that will answer this one. I'll get John for the rest of my questions, but I appreciate your assistance in my endeavor. And I hope you have your best day on purpose.
No, I hope you do too, and good luck. It's
All right.
hard out there for small businesses. That's what we try and help with. So there's no such thing as a bad question. All right, thank you. So Terrence has asked, do you have to be certified to request assistance with identifying an industry mentor via the mentor protege? Okay, that's a good question, Terrence. I think you're talking about the SBA mentor protege program. Maybe there's several in the federal government. So I can talk a lot about the SBA mentor protege program being with SBA, but the DoD also has a mentor protege. Um, but SBA doesn't identify mentors for proteges or proteges for mentors. That is an organic process that we rely on businesses to identify their possible mentor. And no, you don't have to be certified to be in the mentor protege program. You can just be a small business. And so the small business status is a self-certification when you register your business in sam.gov. Uh, but like I said, with the SBA mentor protege program, the SBA doesn't identify mentors.
Yeah,
Um,
they're referring to Jill, and if they're referring to the SBE, where I was talking about that earlier, so the SBE, so for the mentor protege program that we have, you do have to be certified. Either it was initially it was the DB program. Now, because it's on hold, is the SBE program, and again, that's under the construction side of it, and you have to be certified for a certain amount of time, and there's an application that's involved, and then you come with your plan, and then the supportive services manager can help kind of navigate that for you. Again, that's on our website. I can include that with the information that I send over for them to release out to you guys, to where you can look at that mentor protege program a little bit more under our program or our
okay.
certifications.
And Eduardo mentioned SCORE, which is it's it's an arm of the SBA. It's a volunteer mentoring program, and it's for companies that are just getting started or companies that are looking for access to capital or like a third party just to bounce their business idea off of. They've been around for a long time. And they can really provide some advice on just the process of starting a business and more from their own experiences. And it looks like there's some mixed reviews for SCORE.
And Jill, can I kind of
Yes,
chime in just to kind of clarify? SCORE is a resource partner.
yeah,
And
right.
so they're not necessarily somebody that you're going to go to say, hey, we want you to be our mentor so that we can work with you and go after projects. They're a resource just like the Small Business Development Center, just like Apex Accelerator, the Minority Business Assistance Program. They're essentially going to be providing you with information, education as it relates to you doing something in business. And so they do have SCORE representatives all throughout the United States. There are different offices throughout Ohio. And they do have counselors that can help in specific areas. As Jill was saying, if you're looking to start up, if you're looking to take your idea from concept to market, there are different areas that they can assist with. But if you go to their website, you can put in specifically what you're looking for. They also offer training. Then you can put that in. And SBA does provide funding to SCORE and the Small Business Development Center, the SBDC, but both of those are resource partners to assist you as a small business in your business or government contracting endeavors.
And I just put the link to SCORE in the chat.
Awesome.
But that's a great point. Yeah, SCORE is more of a resource partner. And I'll also say SCORE has kind of been hit hard with all the changes to the SBA in the last year. So um, just keep that in mind as well. But I'm glad that Eduardo has had a good experience with SCORE. I know a lot of people that have. So Ryan saying, whoever mentioned talking to a logistics specialist concerning moving construction materials a few minutes ago, please private message me. Look at that. We're making connections. There you go. Okay, Mr. Construction. I think that was, I even said his name. Donald. No, maybe that. I'm not sure. Um, Okay. Where is the best place to go in identifying a mentor if your goal is to go from concept to implementation? That's a hard one, Terrence. Like we try to we as in your resource partners, including ODOT, SBA, Apex Accelerator, the Ohio Department of Development, we put together a lot of in-person events for businesses to come together and network with each other so that you can find those connections. But I would say industry days that are put on by federal agencies. ODOT puts on a small business expo every year. Trade shows, that's where you meet your colleagues or your potential business partners. The Ohio Business Matchmaker is a great one. The Columbus District Office has partnered with Apex Accelerators on March 19th, which is a month from tomorrow. We're having an in-person training event. The registration's open on the website for Ohio Apex Accelerators. It'll be at the State Library of Ohio in Columbus from 1 to 4:30 on March 19th. So that's really the organic way. We don't have ODOT sounds like their program's a little bit different in terms of having mentors, but and over the years meeting with multiple businesses where I think that a good mentor protege match might occur, everyone's back office is a little bit different than when they're meeting with me in person. I have found. So being able to have those conversations with potential partners is really important. Lorraine, does ODOT have mentors that they identify for proteges, or how does the program work?
Well, I think the supportive services manager, again, it fall down on what kind of business that they have. Other her requirements, or the federal highway requirements for the mentor protege program, where we're at with the DBE program right now, because it was initially for DBE certification. So it depends on whether who's got what certification, how long you've had that certification. And then what they try to do is they kind of try to match you up with a company that's larger scale than you, but they have to work with other prime companies out there to see about making those matches. So I mean, it potentially can happen, but there is an application and there's work involved, and then there is meetings once they set this up where they seeing how the partnership and the mentorship is going. So there's a lot to it, and getting a mentor. And then again, that's not my office and that's not my expertise. But we, as outreach managers, we can always set those meetings up to see if that's something that they could qualify for.
All right. Well, there were some really good questions that came through. I will say to keep us on, Carol, is there a website about the Mentor Protege program that you can put in the chat, Lorraine?
Yes.
Okay. Because yeah, Carol is asking for a point of contact for that. All right, everybody. Well, I think that will conclude today's webinar training. Please visit the Ohio Business Matchmaker website because that's where the list of all of the webinar trainings for the matchmaker is, and they start on March 4th, and there's 12 of them. So those are all free. You can just go to the Ohio Business Matchmaker website. It's in the chat. Click on webinar trainings and then just register for as many of them as you would like. Shonda, Sharon, Lorraine, and I will all be part of those in one way or another. So you'll be hearing us again. And if you're able to go to the matchmaker, we'll see you in April.
And
Great, we'll be
Jill,
there.
Yes.
before the matchmaker, actually the last training in this series, on March 19th, we do have an
Yes.
in-person event, doing business with local governments and
Let
transportation
me see if I can
agencies.
get that. I'm going to
I
pull that
actually have it
registration.
up,
Except
so I
Shonda's
can
already
show
got
it.
it up.
I
There
can
you
show
go.
it.